After I finished school, they gave me an opportunity to become a teacher. Man wrote the Bible. We get instructed on all these different things, and I'm like, okay, what is real and what's not real?
He used a bunch of imperfect people.
We went from 100 to 0 real quick, bro.
People think that for you to know the Bible, you have to like literally know every single thing about it.
The devil cannot attack us himself. He has to use something to attack us.
Welcome back to the Brighter Side Podcast. I am here today with Cornell Bunting. This guy has been to prison and back. He's an author. Yeah. He has a foundation, and he's also became one of my friends. He's a guy that goes to my Bible study, and we've gotten to know each other really well there. Yep. He's got a crazy cool story, and I've been waiting a while to get him on, but you know, our schedule's finally lined up.
Yep.
And so we are going to just kind of get into it today. Man. And so welcome to the show, man.
Bruh. Yeah, man.
It's good to get you in here.
This is a joy to be in the space, man. The brighter side.
The brighter side, yeah. It's dark in here, but it's cool. So I just gave him a tour of the studio. So the studio, when we originally started, was just to be like for me to do some podcasting, and we have all these extra rooms, and so we ended up turning it into a studio. So people can come in, rent the studio, they can shoot their own thing. So it's been kind of cool to see how that's gone. I think we actually have our first like paying customer coming in this week to do their first podcast.
Nice.
And so we'll produce it, and so it's kind of cool. So
that's
it's
beautiful.
definitely like the Brighter Side Podcast, but it's also like the Brighter Side Media. It's turned into a studio, and I don't know, man. I don't know what's gonna happen with it. I'm just trusting God, and
it's gonna be lovely.
Yeah, trusting God. I got some big dreams, but I don't want to put them out there too far yet because I'm like, just trying to get rolling. So
the dream is for you, so you just got to put it out and then just make it happen.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. I really didn't know how much I was gonna like love podcasting, but I mean, I knew I liked to talk, so I knew that wasn't gonna be a hard problem for me, but I didn't really know.
That's a good problem, though.
Yeah,
that's a good problem.
Yeah, because they say like with podcasting, I feel like I read this somewhere, but it's like the first like marker is to get to 7.
Yeah,
because most people fall flat. Like they got a couple good episodes in them, and then they're like, oh wait, this is actually like hard, a lot of work, and then
they don't know what to talk about.
Yeah, and then it's like get to 20.
Yeah,
and so like this is episode number 12 for us. So
that's amazing, man.
I want to get into it though. So I know a lot about you, but our audience may or may not know.
Right.
You originally are from Jamaica.
Yep.
And so let's start there. Like, how long did you live there? Like, what was it like growing up in Jamaica?
Man, Jamaica was amazing, man. Jamaica. So in Jamaica, we went from 100. Like, so my dad was a cop. Then he became superintendent for the super club. So we were the kids. We were the only kids in our community that had bicycles. We had anything we wanted, bro. But we weren't allowed to ride our bicycles to school except on a Friday. So on a Friday, I would tell all the kids, like from Monday or Tuesday, I was like, listen, make sure you save your 20 cents so you can get a ride off the bicycle on Friday when I bring it.
Smart. It was already hustling.
Oh, yeah, man. It was because we were the only kid at the school with a bicycle.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, we had a lot of fun. But we went from 100 to 0 real quick, bro.
Yeah.
Because my dad and my mom decided to separate. My dad sold the house. And I remember, bro, the knock on the door. And I went to open the door, and the lady came out, and she was like, you guys have 2 weeks. Your dad sold the house. We got the new people that want to do a renovation, all these different things. And I'm like, you need to talk to my mom. And like, it was crazy, bro. So we went from having all these different things to going to where my mom didn't even know where she was going to go.
Oh, wow.
She called her mom. Her mom lived in a 1-bedroom house where it's not even a 1-bedroom house. It's a one house. It's one house,
like one room
with everything in that room, bro.
Wow.
Kitchen, living room, everything is in that one space. It was hilarious.
That's crazy.
So, she was like, well, I can take you and 3. I can't take all 4 of you guys. And so my mom's sister that lives in England said, I'll take O'Neill, which is my nickname. I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest?
Yeah. So I got to go over to Bristol in England and, kind of finish the younger grown-up years there. Then went back to Jamaica when my mom felt she had stability. she didn't have stability. She was still in a terrible situation. I'm like, why'd you have me
Why'd
come
you
back?
have
This
yeah.
was stupid, you know?
Yeah.
So, but it was one of those things, man, where you see poverty at a level where you had to be content with your situation. It was one of those things. Like, I remember we were so hungry one day. There was no food at the house, brother. Me and my brother, we went on the road, and we were looking for, like, mango to fall off the tree or something, bro. There was not even mango, bro. We found
picked, like, clean.
Mango skin. We ate the mango skin, bro.
Wow.
It was that bad, man. It went bad, man. So, now, we appreciate life a little different.
Sure. Yeah, that's hard to that's hard to as somebody that's never had that growing up here. I mean, you had me at the bikes. Like, I grew up, that was like my childhood too. Just like little hellions riding around the neighborhood. And we had some houses. Like, this house had a good jump in it.
Right.
This guy had like a big dirt hill. And we'd go there until they come out and yell at us when we go to the next house. But
man.
I mean, just riding around like two like boys in their bikes, man, at that age.
Listen, it was fun. Bro, it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of kids, and I made a lot of 20 cents, man. Because back then, that was your lunch money. You got 20 cents to go to school. And so I told the kids, you got to sacrifice one day out of the week so you could ride. Because I had a BMX, bro.
Yeah,
and everybody loved the BMX. And then my dad, he had like a satellite dish. So he would record a lot of the movies. And we'd rent them.
Yeah.
We'd rent those VHS
just
cassettes.
Record it.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. And so I used to have a backpack full of movies, and I'd ride around the different communities, and we would rent them for like 10 cents a day.
Yeah.
So you go over the day, then when I come, the next day, you got to give me 20 cents or 30 cents, whatever it is that you go over with the tape.
That's great, man. That's like hustling at a young age.
Man. It was beautiful.
It was already bred in you.
Oh, yeah, man. It was lovely.
So, but what age were you when you moved to England?
So about 8.
8,
yeah,
and then you
7,
came,
8, yeah.
And then you came back probably.
And then I went back 15 and finished school, and then finished school. And after I finished school, they gave me an opportunity to become a teacher. So I actually became a Caribbean history teacher. And then I became the principal for a basic school in my community.
Okay.
So I was doing that, but then, bro, it was boring. I was like, I'm seeing the same people, the kids. So then my brethren, one of my friend at the time, he was a security at Crown Plaza. And Crown Plaza was looking for bellman. And he said, bro, you'll be perfect up there, bro, because they would love your smile. So he got an interview set up for me. I went up there, and, bro, literally, I was so excited to be in the place. And when you go somewhere for the first time and it looks so good, I'm looking everywhere and I'm laughing. I went down to the HR lady, and I'm just smiling, bro, because I was just so grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah.
She was just fascinated with the way I was smiling. She was like, when can you start?
Yeah.
I'm like, I can start today. she's like, what is your size? Bro, they literally fit me that day. And I was working that evening. It was the first time that any job, bro, I had went that day, got hired right on the spot, worked that day.
Wow.
It was that crazy, bro.
Wow. So how long, so what was the transition to here? Like, what was the transition to the U.S.?
So the Crown Plaza, what happened, the Crown Plaza, they sold the whole resort to one of the, so U.S. Embassy had a guy that was staying there.
Gotcha.
And he loved the penthouse so much, so all their different diplomats, would come, they would stay there. So they loved it so much, they got the whole building, man. And so when they bought the building, the Crown Plaza got all their top employees jobs in America. So I got a job at South Seas.
Oh, okay.
In Captiva.
Oh, Captiva.
Yeah, out in Captiva. Okay. And so that's how I came. And when I came, I'm telling you, bro, like, I was loving Captiva because the money was good, and I had came for a brief minute in 2000. I went back, and then in September of 21, I was supposed to come back. The morning I'm drinking, literally, bro, I'm watching my TV, I'm drinking my Milo tea, and I'm looking at the news, and bro, I just see this plane flying into the building. And I was like, yo, is that real right now? And it was crazy. But
yeah, sure. I remember it.
Everything got canceled. So I couldn't come here that day. I couldn't come here for a good, 4 months. 4 or 5 months.
After 9/11?
Yeah. After that happened because they had to do a restructure.
Up everything.
Yeah,
man. It was kind of a crazy time,
It was,
of course.
It was wild, bro. But yeah, I came and, back in Captiva and things were just going beautiful, bro. Making good money, got an opportunity to build a house back in Jamaica with some of the money I was making like in 2002. So it was then, and I had met this guy that was in like World War I, and he would let me drive his car because I didn't have a car when I was here.
Yeah.
But he would have me drive his car to go get grocery for him. I would do power wash, clean up his place. And he actually lived maybe 2 or 3 hours on the other side from where Jetbush place was over there on the island. Yeah. So it was really cool, man. Like I got to move around and I got to meet a lot of the older people that had moved there.
Yeah.
So I was just, generating money and just saving it and then going back and having a whole lot of fun in Jamaica.
So you're just kind of going back and forth?
Yeah. I was going back and forth, and then I decided in 2003, I decided to get married here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was with this girl. I mean, I was wild, bro. I was a wild dude.
Yeah.
we had a lot of... So the guy that was friends with me in Captiva, we had a Hummer, a Viper. I don't know if you remember that car.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. So we had a Viper and we had a Beamer. And we had a yacht. His dad spoiled us, bro.
Wow.
So we had so much fun. We had the Hooter girls, all that stuff over there. But at some point, this girl kind of saw a lot of what I was doing, and she wanted to take me from all those girls.
Yeah.
It was the first time I had a girl pursue me.
Yeah.
And you know what, man? It got my attention. I was like, yo, this is different.
Yeah.
So
she locked you up.
Yeah, bro. So I gave her an opportunity. So that's who I actually got married to. We had 2 of my boys are hers.
Okay.
And that's how I became citizen here. But, bro, I'm telling you, it was a journey. It was a rough journey. Because even she brought me through some rough
trouble. Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, it's easy to like recap it, like talking to the camera. You're like, oh yeah, Jamaica, and it's like we went through it, but it's like I can I mean, I can't, but I can try to like kind of comprehend that, like growing up in a place where like the abundance isn't like America, and we have it really good here. I wish more people remember
America
that.
have it real good here, bro, real good. When I tell you, like, we couldn't come here, and the little bit that we make, we go back and live. Like amazing. Yeah. We got, I mean, a lot of times you see people here, might rent a 2-bedroom place and they're struggling. They got a 6-bedroom house back in Jamaica just living beautiful, bro. Yeah. Big car waiting for them there, and, but it's, it's what you got to do here to go back and live that good life.
It's not
there.
easy. Like, it's not easy. People... I think I don't know. This is the conception that I get sometimes. That they think it's gonna be easy to come here and make money,
right?
And like, no, you're gonna have to work for it. It's gonna be hard work probably too at first, depending on your situation or how you got here. You're probably gonna have to do some pretty manual labor until you kind of get.
You got to put the work in. And that's the thing. We're not scared of work. We're never scared of work. We take any task on. As long as we agree to what that is, bro, we're going to execute. And, there was a lot of things, we were under, like, a lot of different perception. Like, because in Jamaica, bro, people, you could never tell a Jamaican that there's white people here that don't have money. They won't believe it.
They won't, huh?
Like, it was like, yo, poverty is real here as well, like, there's people here that struggles like that. And you're like, what? Is it for real? Yeah, bro, it's for real.
Yeah, lots of people.
Oh, yeah. But it's
thousands, probably millions.
The pictures that have been painted to individuals when they see certain things, here is like the glamour. Here's like the glamour place, And so until you get here and see, like, oh, it ain't really.
It's not. Yeah.
Right.
I think that's like, I've had conversations with lots of people where it's the same thing where you see the news is kind of like trained us in
yeah,
some
yeah,
ways.
yeah.
And now it's obviously changing a lot more because of social media. But like back in the day, I mean, you just whatever you saw on the news. Like I'm from Kansas City.
Yeah.
I'm from Kansas City, right? So like I mean, all you would see was like on the news, all the murders and the crime was all in the city, downtown Kansas City, and like you're like thinking, oh my gosh, like there's gangs everywhere, and you think all this stuff. I was like, man, I've been to Kansas City so many times, I've never even had my car alarm go off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But it's like you see all this stuff and you think because of what you see on the news, like they just give you. I've heard from one of my employees at one time. He was saying, I think he's from Cuba. He was saying that the news would make it look like America was all about drugs and everybody was on all this. Like he would they would use it as a tactic and like from his perspective to scare him from coming to America. Like there's all these problems
but just to show you how powerful the media is, and I think it just depends on what country and what they show the people. Because for us, for a lot of times and for a long time, like. When you see a lot of pictures when they talk about Africa and like you have, businesses, they show a commercial and you see kids are suffering and all these things. Bruv, I'm in Africa, bruv, and I'm like, are we in Africa? Are you guys serious?
I'm so guilty of that. Like as a kid, I mean, like, you think you just like, it's like what you see in National Geographic or something. And then I had a friend who was from South Africa and he was like showing, I was like, what, this looks like New York.
Oh, yeah.
You
Solid,
know,
bro.
it's like, I had no idea.
Bro, the dudes that were bringing me around, they had the Rolls Royce truck. They had I'm like, yo. This is amazing. Like, I'm like, where is all this stuff they show me?
I know. I feel stupid, kind of, So shout out to anybody that's like making fun of me right now. I was like, man, like that's kind of like the point to your point, like how powerful the media is. Powerful, and again, this is like pre cell phones, pre smartphones, where everybody was recording. I mean, your source was the news and magazines, you just kind of got what you got.
You run with that.
So it's kind of crazy. I was just having this conversation actually with somebody else not too long ago, and I was like, man, you're right. And then we're talking about Africa.
Yeah, man. It's quite a bit.
So I want to kind of get into some more. I know. So you're living here. You're living it up. You're hanging out with the girls. You guys are king of Captiva, and
that was wild. That was some wild times because my friend Nick. He was fascinated with Hooters girls. And so what he would do is he would tell the girls that he's a producer and I'm a rapper.
Okay.
So I had this platinum chain, and it was crazy because the thing was his dad would give us spending allowance.
Okay.
Bro, when I tell you this dude, because his dad owned oil.
Okay. So he's pretty well off.
Oh, yeah. And so he basically what he did was he rented his house $6,400. And that's where we lived, bro. We lived there he paid for a whole year. $6,400 a month. The house had elevator. And Nick went and got a pole. He got a stripping pole. So when the girls came and saw the pole, all they wanted to do when they get off shift was come to our crib, bro. So it was just me and him and about 6 to 7 Hooters girls.
That was like you guys were living your best life or something at that point.
We was spoiled, bro. It was wild, man. But at some point that at the end, Hurricane Charlie.
Yeah.
Hurricane Charlie happened, bro, and discombobulated everything that we had going on out in Captiva. And that's how even with my girl, because we had gotten married, everything was beautiful, but she didn't tell her family about me. So I had to go to New York and stay with my cousins because I had nowhere down here to stay. I couldn't, the roof had came in at the place. So when I went to New York, and this craziest thing, like maybe about a month in, I noticed I'm calling her phone. She's not picking up her phone. And so one day, my cousin was like, just call her, bro. So I'm calling her, and then this dude answered the phone. Answered the phone.
Not good.
And he's like, yo, why are you calling my girl? And I want to say to him, bro, that's my wife. But I'm like, what? Could you just let me talk to her? I just said to him, just let me talk to her, bro. It's all good. And she get the phone. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? And she's like, I don't know what to tell you. This is what white girls do. Bro, I'm crying. And out of nowhere, bro, I'm crying. My cousin slapped me so hard, bro. Like, bro, what is wrong with you? Don't be crying over that stupid girl, whatever, And he was like, bro, tomorrow I get you a girl. Now she's rolling with a different dude. You tighten up. Because, bro, I'm telling you, I went there and I was I was not trying to mess with no girls. I was just trying to make some money to come back, get a place for me and her.
Sure.
That was not the
that's
case.
That's a rough way to find out.
Right.
I can't speak to that, but that wouldn't be.
Man, listen, bro, that was rough, man. But I came back, because I had, my cousin was giving me money, and he had hooked me up with this girl that had a clothing store in Manhattan, and she was helping me as well. So I got to come back, got me a place, and the sad thing, bruv, I had to take her back.
Yeah.
Because my documents was with her. We had to go to do the interview and all these things, and it hurt me, bro. It hurt me. But my mom was like, listen, you just got to suck it up and just know that that's what it is. And it took me a while to forgive her, but because of how I was hurt from her, bro, I was still with other girls while I was with her.
Yeah.
And so, they put us in a situation where we literally had to prove that we were together.
Yeah.
Because they denied me the first time. And then they said, we're gonna have an officer come there and check on you guys, and she need to be on your lease, your car note, your bank account, all these different things. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So, we did that, and then the whole thing was just kind of happening so fast, bro. She got pregnant. And I was like, okay. Because I didn't even know if it was me.
Sure.
Because my trust was gone, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and so, when the whole thing now unfolded and we, finally time came around for us to go back, by that time my son was born. And we went to the interview, and, bro, everything they told me to do, they didn't look at none of them. They look at my son, look at me, gave me my green card.
Wow.
That was crazy.
All that worry and doubt and this is going to happen, I'm going back.
Right.
Worked out perfect.
Worked out, man. And then the lady said, if you stayed married for the next 3 years, you can become a citizen. And I wanted to become a citizen because I wanted to go back to school here, open my own company. Because, back when we were in Captiva, we had all these guys sitting on the corner and they were just talking, and I said, man, one day, man, I'm going to open my own business. I'm going to become a citizen, and I'm just, talking all this stuff off the top of my head. And this one dude was like, that will never happen. Get that out of your head. I've been here 16 years. Nothing like that happened for me. But that was a motivator for me, bro.
Yeah.
Just hearing that, and I'm like, so fast forward about 11 years, bro. And I became, I get my citizen in 2011, and I opened up my security company, and that was going really well.
That was security for just like private
physical security.
People needed it for whatever.
Gated security. Yeah, we provide a lot of different type of security, and then I wanted to get into the internet, the networking security, where cyber stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had learned that in college. But, before that happened, bro, a whole accusation was made against me. They, someone paid one of the guys that worked for my company to say I gave him money to go kidnap someone.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I don't know that I ever heard. I mean, I knew the story, I knew you'd been to jail, but I never really was, never knew exactly what it was that happened. So you had this company going, was a competitor? Were you ever able to find out who it was?
Well, yeah, but, we just kind of leave it be because, sometimes you try not to bring more attention on yourself, and at the time...
Just leave me alone kind of thing.
Yeah, because at the time, I wanted all the security jobs.
Yeah.
But just not realizing... all the other security companies, they got to eat too, Cornell.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I was accused of underbidding, which I didn't know I was accused of underbidding because I felt like I was charging a good amount, but the other competitors, they were charging way more.
Yeah.
And so, that whole thing happened. This kid said I gave him money to go kidnap someone, kill them, whatever. And so I was facing 16 felony charges, 8 on the solicited and 8 on the conspiracy.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
So was this come to you to a surprise to you? I mean, are you just sitting on your couch one day and all of a sudden
no.
SWAT team busts in?
No. It was, the crazy thing was I had just signed this 3 contract with these these guys, they had a hookah lounge, they had a bar, they had a club, and we were going to provide security for all of the locations. And the kid, I wanted him to work at one of the locations. So they had me do a test run with him. And so they had me send him to a hookah lounge. So when I hired him as a firearm security, a Class G. They said, we don't want to armed security. We just need a regular D security with a D license. And I said, listen, I'm still going to pay you that amount, but I just need you to go with no weapons.
Yeah.
Bro, he went to the location, and he still carry weapons with him, bro. Uh-huh. And so they were not impressed. They were like, you need to fire him. And I felt like he was one of my best guys. So I didn't really want to fire him. I was like, you know what? Let me do an evaluation. Let me talk with him. And so I decided, let's do a breakfast and, have him kind of understand, what that atmosphere is like for them, because that's where I wanted to put him. And when we were heading for the breakfast, they pull us over. And they pull us over in the car. First they said we were speeding. Then they said the driver's license for the guy that was driving wasn't good. Then they came back. They said something happened. They got to take us in for questioning. It was crazy, bro. So I'm in, first appearance, and they called my name. I stood up, and they start calling out all these charges. So I sat back down, and they were like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, you guys are calling out charges that's not me." So I get back up when, I hit. They're like, "That's you." Like, yeah, what? Yeah. So, it was one of those things. And then I learned that I didn't have a bond. They're like, there's hole on the bond, so you can't bond out. So, like, you can hear a bond amount. I think it was like $1 million something. But if there's hole on it, you can't bond out. Doesn't matter what. They have to lift those holes before you can bond out. And so they had me as like a flight risk and all these things. And so basically took passport, all the, the different things.
Yeah, and, thinking you go back to Jamaica or something.
Right. So basically, when that whole thing happened, they said until they lift the hole, you can't bond out. So I had to sit in there for 10 months. And that 10 months, bro, it really calmed me down. Like, it bring me back to, I need you to understand, you're in control of nothing.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I was in control of a lot of what I had going on,
Yeah.
But it was so surreal, bro, because, 1 minute I'm with my kids, everything is good. Dude, it was 3 days to my birthday.
Yeah.
We're gonna,
got
have
plans,
some fun.
You're like, yeah, we're going to the beach or whatever, and
all of that was gone out the window, bro.
So I was gonna ask you, like, I mean, I know your faith now, but obviously the people watching may not. So, growing up, were you a believer in Jesus, like follow the Bible? Were you like trying to figure it out? Like, bro, what was your upbringing as far as like your faith goes?
Yeah, so my mom was Pentecostal.
Okay.
So we grew up Pentecostal, where church was a good 3-4 days a week, bro.
Yeah.
It got all annoying. Yeah. So I knew the Bible, but it was forced on me so much that I rejected it.
I get that. It seems like that happens. I mean, I'm kind of guilty of the same thing, kind of falling away for a while. So you're probably clearly not, when you're in your King of Captiva days, you're not. I know when I had probably questioned it, my own faith the most, was probably in those years as well, where I can remember clearly, like, I would maybe even say I didn't believe. I was really trying to convince myself that God wasn't real, Jesus, like, all the things people say, like, why do bad people die, and all is this, like, this can't be a loving God, all these different things that are big talking points.
And and that's kind of how I was looking at a lot of things, because for me it was, well, man wrote the Bible, all these different things. We get instructed on all these different things, and I'm like, okay, what is real and what's not real, And so for me, I had to go through a series of events to actually understand, like, God is actually real. But I would never force on anyone, like, what God is and all that. But I will speak my truth to them.
Yeah.
Like, this will happen, because the first phase of me realizing God was real was when I went to jail.
Yeah.
And while I was in jail and what that looked like, and then we had a moment, bro. It was the craziest moment because, you know, every day you working out in the, you know, like in the little rec yard, what they call it. And then in the area where we are, because I'm in maximum security, so you don't see none of what outside look like.
Yeah.
You do get an opportunity to go up on the roof on a Tuesday for 1 hour, and you see the sky. That's all you can see. So for us, it was like, okay, we here, man. This is where I'm at. You know, I'm gonna be in confinement until I'm not in confinement. And so basically, we had this one day, bro, where this fly was just moving around, and he literally grabbed the attention of everyone that was in the cell, bro. And right then, it was like a voice came to me. I was like, just as how you see this fly coming in, you're gonna be out of here. But I need you to tap back into what I gave you.
Yeah.
You know, you sat on that. Because in high school, I used to write.
Yeah.
You know, I used to write plays, and I used to, you know, do all these things. And I sat on my writing. I didn't think I would get anywhere with it. And so right there, it was like, it needed me to just put the dots together. Like, I wasn't walking in my purpose, and I needed to identify what my purpose was. And so it was then, bruv, like, you know, I start getting a lot of books. The first book I got was Rick Warren book. It was like a 40-day
like devotional.
Devotion, yeah. It was got purpose-driven life.
Yep.
Yeah,
heard of it.
Yeah. So that was
that
was the first book I read, bro, and it motivated me so much that I was reading. I got to a point where I was reading a book a day, bro.
Wow.
I was just locked in because it was like I got to a point where I was reading books and they were like movies. It was like I put my mind to where I'm literally watching a movie as I'm reading the story and I'm imagining what's going on, you know.
Sure.
And so then I got the Bible, and then I got a few other types of Bible, like the Quran, the Maccabee, and then I start reading those stories in the Bible. And those stories were more interesting to me than the regular books that I was reading.
Yeah.
So I would read a lot of the stories in the Old Testament. Like, I couldn't tell you where, in any book in the Bible, I can tell you where that story is sitting in that book.
Yeah.
You know, about whoever that is, whether it's a Joshua story or Elijah or, you know, any
David,
of those, the
whoever.
Samson, David, whatever. I could tell you which book you could go and find that story. So that got fascinating to me, and I'm telling you, bro, it was like everything just came in. This one day, this kid came in, and he was out of it, bro. He was out of it. And I think they arrested him, and he was high. He didn't even realize he was arrested.
Oh, wow.
And he came in, him and his friend, they went and robbed like a pharmacy. But the way they did it, they went to the drive-thru. And they wrote on a note, said, "This is a robber, we have a gun," all these things. And they sat in the drive-thru waiting for the drugs, you know, the pills, whatever. And then, of course, the cops came, got them. You know, but you hear the story, and I'm looking at the dude like, is this dude serious right now? Like, what is wrong with it? But I was around so many young guys, you know, and so I was like, yo, if more of us are not stepping up to help these youths, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
So that was really how even EAS, my nonprofit, got birthed, you know, because I was like, you know, I listened to a lot of these dudes' stories, and some of these dudes were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
You know, there's just the company they was in. And some of those guys have did something that compromised them, and then they compromised
looped in.
Yeah, you know. So I was like, I got to figure a way where I can help address the mindset of these youths and help to help them understand they do have a purpose, you know. And that was kind of how that whole thing. So that kind of started falling in place, but I think I still had questions that needed answers.
Yeah.
And so, you know, fast forward, I got bond the following year. They dropped. So once they lift the hold, the bond went down to like $365,000. And then once the bond went down there, I was able to bond out, sold some stuff, some jewelry, some stuff, and car and stuff like that. And I gave them like $36,500, which was 10% of the bond.
The bond, yeah.
Right. And so when
it's still a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you're not working for 10 months and
listen,
everything.
Bro, when I got out, bro, I was fully broke.
Yeah.
Fully broke. And then on top of that, I had a $10,000 bill for child support. And I'm like, how do you guys make that make sense? How do I accumulate child support in jail?
Yeah.
And I kind of still had my kids. It was the craziest thing, bro. But they didn't care. They said, you got to figure it out. And no one would hire me because I still had those 16 felony charges.
Kind of a big thing hanging out there.
Oh, it was crazy, bro. But, you know, Applebee's gave me an opportunity to be a server. And the server job, bro, I was making so much tip money, so I would like just put that away. And that's what I used to pay off that money. Yeah, and so... But then they found out that she had fabricated the story that she gave them, and so they gave me back a half.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they gave me back a half of the money. They apologized. Because my kids were still with me, bro. You know, like I had my friend bringing my kids to see me on a Friday, and, you know, so it was one of those things, man. But I needed to acknowledge God. I needed to understand my purpose and you know, fully putting it together and then making it make sense. So after the trial happened, you know, guy told on himself, you know, they had to, case crumbled, you know, dude told on the people that paid him, all that stuff. And then 3 months later, the judge expunged my record. And I was kind of still... I acknowledge God, but I was still kind of out there a little.
Kind of fighting it still.
Yeah. And so I remember, bro, you know, I just did, because it was like I was playing both sides.
Yeah, I think sometimes, it's like you can, I don't know if you feel like this in your like your own spiritual journey, but you know, sometimes when, and you see it throughout the Bible all over the time, like things are good,
right,
and then things are bad,
right.
Things are good, and when they're bad, and when they're good, you kind of, it's easy to kind of go, it's me, and
right,
you know, and then when you're down, you're like on your knees, like I'll do anything, you know, and it's like, I mean, it's like this yo-yo, because like here,
you can't be wishy-washy.
Yeah, I'm reading in 1 Samuel and 2 Samuel, just kind of where I was just wanting to read David's kind of story from beginning to end, and I've read it before, but you see it like even with King Saul. King Saul's like starts as like kind of a nobody, and then he does something, he gets anointed, and then he's like winning all these battles, and then he doesn't listen to God, and he kind of does it on his own, takes the glory. God takes it from him, and then it's just like he's just up and down, and he's going after you know. So
you know, man, it's crazy you say that, because for me, sometimes when I'm praying, I'm like, God, I just don't take favor from me, man, please, because you know when God take favor from you, bro, it's rough. Yeah, because that's what happened with Saul when he took favor from him because he didn't listen. Yeah, he felt like, you know,
and he didn't get it back.
He didn't, and they died embarrassingly.
Yeah.
You know, so but for me, bro, what happened? You know, the night before the Sunday, so Saturday night, you know, I remember I went to go give out this award to like Businessman of the Year downtown to, you know, this guy that owned like Celsius and some other spot, and then I went home. I probably got home 3 in the morning or whatever, 4. And then I got up that morning and went to church with the family. That morning when I went to church, bro, in church, as the speaker, about 5 minutes in the speaker is talking, I fell out my chair, bro. Fell out my chair. They're trying to bring me back, all these things. I was gone for a good 16 minutes, bro.
Wow, no kidding. I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. And so... in that time, the guy had the body bag to put me in because they were like, we did everything. He's gone. He's flatlined, you know. And so the pastor's like, no, he's not leaving here in a body bag. And them arguing on that 16-minute, I came back.
No kidding.
So, but in that time, in that out-of-body experience, bro, this is when I fully understand we don't live in a normal world, bro. This world that we're in, bro, there's a whole lot that is happening. There's the spirits that are among us that we can't see, that we have spirits that are fighting with them to, you know, make sure to protect us, bro. Like when I tell you, until we understand what that look like, because this is a vessel.
Yeah.
This is a vessel that has this spirit that leads this vessel.
Yeah.
The challenge is because this vessel crave the world.
Yeah.
What's going on in the world. It goes for that. And so the spirit that we have in us is what we supposed to listen to. And, you know, walk in whatever that where purpose is. And that's the challenge. To do. It is hard, you know. That's the challenge. But a lot of people, because they don't necessarily understand what I look like. Because if you think about it, when someone goes into a community to rob a community and he looks in a house and there's nothing in that house, he's not going in that house.
Yeah, right.
There's nothing to rob.
Right.
But when you look at a house where there's a bunch of stuff in there, that's where they're going to take all this stuff. And it's the same thing with the vessels. When you're an empty vessel, the devil don't see nothing to attack you.
Yeah, you're no threat to him.
Right, but there's those where they're scared to challenge the devil. And so they just run with him. They're on his team and they just do whatever that looks like. This is serious. We're in a serious world where I never really want to go deep because I don't want to scare people.
Yeah, let's get it.
But I'm telling you, bro, like it's, God got us, but we have to listen.
Yeah.
We got to listen. If we don't listen and we got to be content with what that look like. We see a certain life and we go after it and the devil see that, oh, he really wants that.
Yeah.
Let me try to jump in and see if I can deceive him and grab him.
Yeah.
And he does that to a lot of us. Oh,
constantly.
yeah, man.
We all have like weaknesses that, what you may struggle with, I may not.
Right.
A lot of guys have similar struggles,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm sure women too.
Oh, yeah.
But
we all have struggles that and the devil knows what those are. The good thing for us is that the devil cannot attack us himself. He has to use something to attack us.
Yeah.
He has to use a vessel, whether that looks like someone else, to get under our skin, to pull us out of character, whatever that looks like, So, we have a few things that's going, man, and then the big part that is, I think, that brings a lot of the challenges, free will.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have free will.
Yeah. Sure.
So at the end of the day, it goes back on what do we choose?
Yeah, I feel like people, as this podcast even, I mean, not this and that, but as my podcast is, kind of starting to lean more and more towards becoming more of a ministry for me, which is I love. I'm excited about that.
Right.
I it's always hard with I guess like an honest true fear is just that, people think that, for you to know the Bible, like you have to like literally know every single thing about it and why. And I chuckle at that because I'm like, okay, I get that. I get that understanding of like what you're saying. Like I don't understand every single aspect of it. And they think that they have to in order to become a believer.
No.
But I'm always like, there's always this example of an old pastor. Yeah. And I don't know, I use this example a lot. I don't know if it's a good example, but it resonated with me, so I'm going to share it.
Yeah.
He's like, you got to be able to trust you want to be able to trust the word. You want to be able to trust it's true.
Yes.
You want to be able to trust that it's the way, the path, the light, whatever. But it's like, okay, but then like, what about your cell phone, right? Like, but because you can't explain it, like I'm saying, like if you can't explain the Bible to them, then they're like, they get you on one thing. They're like, oh, see, you don't even know what you believe, and you're like, well, I mean, like kind of maybe like on that specific subject, but then I'm like, if you use your cell phone, and this is where I was going, I'm like, okay, well, you trust this thing a lot. We use it everywhere we go, but I'm like, do you understand how it works? I was like, okay, explain to me when you dial a number, what happens? Like I can grasp the idea that, and I know there's probably somebody that's going to just make fun of me forever for this, like it shoots off to some satellite and it comes back down and it gets to you.
Pings
but
to
what
that,
freaks me out is how does my voice get there? Like how does my voice get through the air back down to you into your phone across the world? And you can literally hear like, oh, that's Cory. But you like, you know what, you use it, you trust. I was like, my point being is like, there's a lot of things that people do that they don't know every single aspect to it. As soon as you get to the Bible, it's like, oh, you don't know one thing. So you're like, why would you believe something to live your whole life when you don't know one answer? And it's like, man, it's a lot more to it than that.
It is a whole lot more to it. And, I can tell people that, have those type of attitude towards that is when Jesus came, it was really to understand two things. Love neighbor as you love yourself. And love God. With your whole heart, your mind, your soul, with all that. So, but there's a whole lot to it that I think people dive into and then they get so confused, bro. And then they don't know where to run with it. Like if we was to look at David's journey, and David's journey is one of the, I would say is probably one of the most impactful story for me in the Bible because he shows us how you fall to the flesh.
Yeah.
You know, you crave the
Sure,
world.
sure.
You know, you already have all this stuff, but you still craving all this stuff. Like a man that has wives, he have concubine, but he still goes after one of his workers'
Yeah,
wife.
like why?
You know what I'm saying?
It's
And
like
then
the one thing he couldn't have maybe
right,
or something.
yeah. And so then, but even after that, just to show you, like God still bring him back because he see how much he's after his heart, and
Yeah.
he says, okay, boom, I'm gonna bless you with a child that is gonna be the king after you from this same woman. But then you see all the things that happen with that child, Solomon.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
he get granted the wisest man, he get all this wisdom, all these things, and he got all this knowledge, bro. But it's like at some point when you get all that, it's like you don't know what to do with all of that. So now you're indulging in all these other things because you want to understand what that looked like.
Yeah.
And for him, that what happened because he had all these concubines, and he's like, okay, let me go see what that religion that she's all about. Let me see, and before you know it, he's tangled up in all these other gods, and then before you know it, he lost his way. That's why he wrote Ecclesiastic.
Yeah.
And he talk about it. He says, listen, at the end of all of this, there's nothing greater than knowing God.
Yeah.
You still need to know God. You need to understand he loves you. There's some things that happened that he had to come here and fix it.
Yeah.
But because the devil came here first and had dominion, he had to come and have the Spirit come and bless us with the Spirit for us to understand what that looked like.
Right.
You have to resist that because there were things here that he couldn't remove it. It needed to be here. But he said, listen, you don't need to be a part of that. But the devil figured out a way to say, why not? Why are you not a part of that?
Yeah, yeah.
Why don't you want to know what evil is?
Yeah, always just always whispering.
Yeah, you want to just know good? You don't want to know what evil is?
Why would you believe in that if you can't explain all of it?
Yeah,
like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
you know?
So and that's the thing for a lot of people, bro. And even for me growing up, bro, and you hear these things from your parents, like the stove is hot, don't go around the stove, don't do all these things, and you're like, oh, what is mom saying? I still want to touch that, you know, and then you get burned and you're like, oh, okay, that's what mom is really saying.
Yeah.
But this the way we live in, bro. You know, we don't understand fully, like, yo, you learn something and then you go with it. You learn the gospel, you tell someone else the gospel, and you say, hey, God is real. Believe in him, and he'll give you an helper to help you.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes you got to go in so deep with people to convince them.
Yeah.
For me, I plant a seed.
Yeah.
I plant a seed. You take that seed, you go with it, and I'm going to trust God is going to work with you. The challenge is a lot of times those people rebel because they don't necessarily want that. You know, they want something more that they feel is. But I'm telling you, bro, in God, you can have a whole lot of fun in God as well. You know, like it's
that's
amazing.
What's crazy about the Bible too is like, what a beautiful story.
Oh yeah.
But most people, you know, they don't even read. They haven't even read it. It's like watching a trailer and being like, "Oh, I know what the whole movie's about," but they don't realize that. Like, I mean, even the disciples, like, he used a bunch of imperfect people, not perfect people. Like a lot of people that were all you know, troublemakers, sailors, bad boys, and you know, but you know, he didn't use all the religious perfect people. And
you know, one of the crazy things that I like about that, when you talk about perfect people, anyone could say Job would probably be considered one of the most perfect people in the Bible.
Yeah.
And look what he did to Job. He took everything from Job, but he showed people Job understood. Job understood who God is, how powerful God is, and he feared God. He understood that. And even though he lost everything, he trusts God, bro.
Yeah.
And God gave him back everything and more.
Yeah, I think sometimes with Job, I don't know, I feel like sometimes people, like, you know, if you get into like the deepness of like, you know, what kind of a God would let, you know, a kid die and like a drunk driver live, a drunk driver live, and so, like, which, I mean, I can understand, like, everybody can get there. Yeah. But it's like same thing, like, why would this guy that's doing nothing, God's like, all right, let's have a bet with the devil, and you know, it's like that stuff is complicated. It's deep.
It is.
Deep to get into, like, you know, I mean, obviously he redeems Job, and you know, I always kind of go at the end of the day, it's like, I mean, he's the ultimate maker. Like, it's like it's his world. You know what I mean? He made the rules, he set them in place, and a lot of people have problems with that.
Right.
You know, we all want to believe like, it's even like if you want to be like, what is good?
Yeah.
Well, like if you know, what you think is good,
Right.
and what I think is good, and then what JC thinks is good.
Right.
It's like there's these lines that get drawn where you're like, you know, hey, I mean, if the Bible is like, let's just say as an example, like if the Bible is the standard, what's good in the Bible is good
Right.
and what's bad, and everybody lived by those,
Right.
like that one thing,
Yeah.
then you would say, hey, that was good or that was bad. But I
Right.
mean, when you've got everybody deciding what's good and what's bad, I mean, look at the world that we're in right now, and which makes it hard.
Bruv, you know, this became so easy for me because now, you know, with, you know, me putting video game developing under my
Yeah.
belt because of all the books I write and all these things. But as a writer, like I can create a story,
Yep.
right? I know how the story begin, I know what's going on in the middle, and I know it ends. The people that's reading it don't know what I look like. The characters in it don't know what they look like until they get to the end of the story. And if you like try to put it piece like that, God created this, bro. He know what the beginning looks like. He knows what the middle looks like. He know what the ends look like.
Yeah, right.
We don't know what I look like because we have all these different paths that we can choose.
Yeah.
And the challenge is there's different things that's going on all those different paths.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's say you go into Fort Myers. There's multiple ways you can go to Fort Myers. 41, 75. You can drive the beach side and go all the way around that long way or
Yeah.
whatever. But when you choose one of those paths, you got to deal with whatever is on that
What's
road.
on that road, yeah.
You know, the roadblocks, the accident, the delays.
Yeah. And there's some that maybe are more risky for that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like you got
yeah.
more of a chance of something happening if
Right.
you take this route or this route. But
That's it.
there's still going to be goods and bads along all of them.
But it's life, bro. It's how life is. And just like how they look at people sometimes and like, oh, he took the shortcut. Life is like that. You know, there is some shortcuts too, but you got to understand what that look like, you know.
Yeah.
And you got to be careful, but you got to be bold as well. You
Yeah.
got to understand change. You got to be friends with change.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like one of those things where people got to understand what that look like, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So
It's
you
crazy.
briefly touched on this earlier, and I want to make sure we talk about this.
Yeah.
You talked about, you know, starting to write books in jail and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Now, how many books have you wrote now?
Briv, I've written 54 books thus far. I have 9 that's published. So I just did a new deal with a company where they're going to republish all my audiobooks. So I'm actually understanding where those money is going. Because there's, like, I put work out and I don't know where some of those money go.
Yeah.
Because, like, the numbers sometimes looks good, but then financially it doesn't really add up. And you're like, what is happening here? So, you know, now, because now I'm kind of figuring it out now and then understanding the different platforms, how to monetize what that look like. So the next set of books, when those come out, they'll come out under the Cornell Bunting LLC
Oh, okay.
with the partnership of, you know, another organization.
You have a publisher, or you self-publish them, or?
Yeah, so some of them are self-published and then some have publishers, but, you know, because of the experience I've had with a lot of these publishers where they take most of my money, because the book I've made the most money on, I put that out myself.
Uh-huh.
And that's
You
my
made the
biggest,
most money?
Yeah, and that book was #1 for 31 days on 38 days on Amazon, #1. And then when the audio came out, it went back to #1 for like 2 weeks.
Nice.
You
And
know,
that's, which book is that? You
That
told me
Escaping a Life Sentence.
that's your story that we kind of
the
talked
memoir.
about here.
Yeah, that's the memoir that we kind of dabble in a little bit. Gave you guys some synopsis, you know, of the debt, and then when I was in jail, you know, looking at 32 years to life in prison.
And we'll put those in the show notes. Like we'll put
Yeah.
you know, how to get in touch with you, which we'll get all that.
Yeah.
But you also just talked about a video game.
Yeah.
You're working on a video game. Tell everybody a little bit about that and
Yes.
kind of where you're at with that.
Yeah, so Nostril Adventure is a kid's book I put out, which, you know, and it's crazy because Nostril Adventure is about when I was a kid back home. You know, we had this huge house and we had this rat problem. Well, I don't know if you would say a rat problem when it's just one rat or a mouse, whatever you, because
My wife
I know
would say
they
that's a problem.
differentiate, they differentiate mouse from a rat. So whatever it was this little creature, mice, whatever. And when I tell you, bro, we could not catch it for nothing. Remember one time we boxed it in a room and we thought we had it. And then out of nowhere, he found like some little space and it just disappeared, bro.
Yeah.
So my dad went and got this cat. My dad brought home this cat. I remember this cat was a full white cat. we were excited, bro, because we're like, okay, this situation's gonna be resolved.
Yeah.
Bro, 2 weeks go in, we see the cat, and it looked like it's playing with the rat. And I'm like, yo, what happened? So me and my brother are upset now. So we caught the cat one day. We went up on the roof of the house, and we started throwing the cat down. But it just keep landing on his foot. It was like, oh, my goodness, we can't even hurt this cat. It's useless. So we were upset about that. And one day, we said, you know what? This cat got it, man. So the rat, we got friends with it. We were okay with it now. We start setting out food for it because we're like, we can't kill it.
Might as well adopt it or something.
Yeah, it's a smart mouse, And so we go from there. And then one day, bro, I remember I was in a hurry, took a shower, stepped out the shower, stepped on it.
No kidding.
We were devastated, bro. We had a funeral. My mom was like, "What is wrong with you kids?" Like it was hilarious. But the story from, what had happened there, I wrote this book called Nostril Adventure. And Nostril Adventure is about this rat with this huge nose that smelled the finer cheese. And he goes on a quest to find this gold dust cheese. And on his quest, he runs into this rat named Roscoe. And Roscoe wants that cheese because it makes him immune to humans. Humans can't kill him. And so what I did was with that book, I turned that book into a video game concept. And then the concept, I turn it into a gameplay, a video game. So on your mobile device, if you go to the App Store and you type in Nostril Cheese Chase, you'll see that video game comes up. And so that's the game, so it's a race to the mansion to get the cheese, but you encounter Roscoe. And Roscoe is trying to get you. So it's like, we have more stages that are not unlocked yet because we were trying to get to a certain number. I think we're a little over 10,000.
Because you're kind of shopping it right now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We're shopping it. Yeah.
And you kind of got some interest, and you and me have talked about it. So it's really exciting.
Oh,
yeah.
It
could be a really good financially for you, potentially.
But. Potentially. It has great potential. And then I have 24 other games that have concepts. So we got games.
You got it going on.
Yeah. So we got to be putting out some bigger projects, in the coming, in the coming year. I wouldn't even say the coming months because, we're still at the table with negotiation on some stuff and kind of see what that's going to look like. And then with EOS, the nonprofit.
Yeah, I was getting ready to ask you to talk about that. And
right.
I mean, man, we just got going on your story and God that we didn't get to talk about it as much, but he does have a foundation called EHAS, which stands for Everyone Has a Story. EHAS, EHAS, right?
Yep.
And that's a foundation for kids, but although you'll do a better job than me.
Well, so, what that is we help to create self-reliance and a growth mindset for disadvantaged youths. And that goes back to when I was talking about when I was in jail and, these
kids needing it.
Right. So that was really what birthed that, But I'm like, when I get out, that's one of the things I want to do is help to develop the mindset of these youths so they stop making these decisions that's compromising
give them
them.
Some options.
Yeah. Because a lot of kids don't know what their purpose is. So what we do is we create these soft skill learning programs. We have about 24 of them. And we go into alternative schools. We go into schools so alternative school is a school that kids they're bad with the regular school.
Yeah,
sure. So they put them in those schools.
Yeah.
And then we have group homes and parents that homeschool their kids. And so they can enroll their kids into those programs. They're 10-week programs. So we go, we coach, we talk with them. And so I have, individuals that come on board as a mentor to talk with these kids, and then we do the same thing in Jamaica. So between Jamaica and here, we have 1,400 kids that we cater to.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
So what's the biggest need you have right now? I mean, obviously any foundation, money and resources.
For us, the biggest thing right now, man, is bringing individuals on that want to help, that see the need with these kids and can help us, because we can say we need money all day, but if we don't have a group of people that believe in what we're doing and want to help, we're not going to get to do much. And that's the thing. While we have a lot of financial issues not getting the big grants and stuff, we still need people that can help the organization, because if I'm not around and someone else that's representing the organization is in a room, can say, hey, why don't you check out EAS? You know, like we don't have a lot of those people right now.
Yeah.
We need people that can go in a room and talk about EAS without me being there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
it's
that's
not just you being the
right.
spokesperson in every
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
Like,
So-
oh, we don't know, call Cornell. Or,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. So, you know, and we give, you know, the information, we put it out. But, you know, again, just even maintain like the website, the platform for the courses.
Oh, yeah. It costs money. No
costs
matter.
money,
It doesn't matter even if it's developed for free. Yeah. You
Right.
still got to pay something
Oh,
to keep
yeah.
it on there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
when it's, you know, you're doing a lot of different things.
Right.
There's a lot of costs going out. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and we'll have information on the show notes if you're interested in helping out with EAS or
Yeah.
you want to get one of Cornell's books and, you know, kind of see his style or whatever.
Yeah.
My daughter was excited because my daughter's kind of writing a book right now.
Oh, that's beautiful.
This summer.
Yeah.
And I was telling her, I was like, I have an author coming on. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm going to pick his brain. And then I was
Yeah.
like, once you get it finished, I was like, I'm going
Yeah.
to take it to him. He's going to read it and give you some pointers.
There you
and,
go. There you go.
You know, that kind of thing. So wrapping up, we
Yeah.
always kind of end with the brighter side
Yeah.
concept. And so what's something that you're, or no, let's go a little different. Like
Yeah.
finish this sentence. The brighter side of my story is,
Yes.
yeah.
We help to create self-reliance and a growth mindset. Because, bro, it's amazing to see the look on these kids' faces when they see someone come and give them something that they've never gotten before. Or someone that come and say to them, you know what? Something is going to come into existence that wouldn't come into existence without you being a part of it.
Yeah.
They get excited, bro. So,
Yeah.
you know, just on the brighter side of knowledge, man, and understanding what that look like and the power that holds.
Yeah.
You know, to help
Yeah.
individual find who they are.
There's not a wrong answer. It's just always kind of interesting. I try to ask. I got a series of questions, but
Yeah.
anyways, so I mean that's it, man. I mean we could have gone another hour, I think, and it would have been great. But
Yeah.
you know, so if you guys want to connect with Cornell, make sure to read the show notes. We'll have all that information in there.
Definitely.
Make sure to hit that subscribe button. That
Yes.
helps us so much. Hit the bell if you want to
Yes.
really, really want to give us some love. Always, of course, leave a comment. You can find us on Spotify, anywhere you can find a podcast. You can find this episode, and we'd love to hear your feedback. So
Beautiful.
we got another episode under our belt. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you watching the brighter side.
Yes.
We'll see you on the next one, baby.
Yeah, man. Thank you, guys.